Hello and welcome to today's video. We are here for something a little bit different, and we got to remember a very special cat. That is Jewel. So, remembering Jewel 1 year after losing her is emotional because I spent from October to June without any animals, well, any cats at least, and then from I think April to June without any animals at all, and it was just weird. But remembering some of the stuff that she did, because she did some funny things. Like a week before she died, she did one of the funniest things that she ever did. We had hamburgers for dinner one night, and we didn't eat them all, so we put them back in the refrigerator, the ones we didn't eat. My mama took out ones to put in the microwave from like the next night after. She's like, "Oh, we're gonna have these tonight." I'm like, "All right, cool." And we had the bowl on the counter in the kitchen and took the lid off. Forgot what we went to go do. We went to go do something down the hallway down here. And Jewel jumped up, reached in with her paw, and pulled out a hamburger and threw it on the floor for her and Sapphire to eat. And that was it was super funny to go out there, and because we heard her jump off the counter, and we went out there, there was a hamburger on the floor, and the cats are just licking it or trying to eat it or something. So that was one of the funniest things she ever did. One of the other funny things that she would do is when we would be recording videos, or even if I'm just playing in here, playing video games, whatever I was doing, and I would have the TV stand. Now, remember, this is before the studio got redesigned. So when the TV stand was over here against the wall, there was a little bit of a gap because the wires had to go behind it. And she decided on multiple occasions that her ideal place to sleep was in the bottom of that TV stand. So she would climb behind it and sleep in there. And I had a hat that she decided to sleep on. And there's just a bunch of stuff that she decided to sleep on. So now, inside of there, it is cat-proof, so cats cannot get inside of it. I believe I did this so she couldn't get into it as well, because I was losing space that I could store stuff in, because she was laying in it and then getting all my stuff covered in cat hair. But it was super funny that she used to do that. But there's not really a day that goes by that I don't think about things how they were with Jewel, because my cat now, Fiesta, who's over here licking herself on the floor, who is a super spoiled cat, is very similar to Jewel in a lot of the things that she'd do. Now, Jewel used to be able to jump onto things very easily, where Fiesta really can't. But Fiesta does a lot of things similar to what Jewel would do. And that's something that Fiesta's never going to be able to live down, that she's always going to be in the shadow of Jewel, I believe, because whatever Fiesta does gets compared to Jewel. Fiesta follows me down the hallway, like Jewel used to. I would call Fiesta's name and she comes like Jewel used to. Fiesta always wants to be where I am, just like Jewel used to. So that's how things are. Like whenever I'm in the studio, Fiesta's in here, just like Jewel used to always want to be in the studio with me, as you guys probably know from many of the videos. Either currently now, where Fiesta somehow gets her name said in a lot of videos, or before when Jewel used to get her name said a lot in the videos. So Fiesta is always trying to get outside downstairs, just like Jewel used to always try to get outside. So there's so many things that Fiesta does that Jewel used to try to do. And some of the other things that I have to sort of honor Jewel in a way is that there's still the picture of her over there that I always used to have in the studio. And there's also a little wooden cutout of a cat, which you guys might have seen before. They gave those to my mom at her work. They gave cutouts of animals. So she got 2 cats, one for Jewel, one for Sapphire, and a dog for Belle. So the other 2 were in the living room. So we have those with the pictures of our animals. But I kind of like that over there. And of course I want to put a picture of Fiesta so that way they're together in that sense. Other things that I do for Jewel is she used to always like roses. Like that was her favorite thing. Whether they were just flowers like my mom would pick from work and then she'd put them somewhere under our table in the living room, or if my mom would get flowers from my dad for whatever he bought them for her, Jewel would always jump up onto the counter and try to eat the flowers or eat the roses or whatever. So if I get roses for different things that my mom has brought them home or something, I try to put a couple outside for Jewel, like I did a couple days ago. She brought some from work or something that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put these outside. Or when I got a rose from graduation, I had 2 of them. I kept one inside and put one outside with Jewel. So that's just something that I do there that is, I think, important. And, you know, to get past the initial emotion of it was very difficult for a couple of months, I think, if I'm honest. Like, it was pretty difficult, but, you know, of course, as they always say, time will help you get over stuff over time. And I think also what helped is Fiesta, because she's a real cool kid. So having her has really helped get over, not get over, but you know what I mean, like, move on from the emotion of that. I think in the past 3.5 months has been really helpful to have her there, because, you know, she's really cool. I really do like Fiesta. Come here. You want to be in the video? No? Come on. She's busy on the floor, but yeah, so that's that. So I get over it most of the time, like, to help, I don't know, get past the emotion of it. It is a little bit difficult to when I go downstairs and I see the spot where she was, it does get a little bit difficult or emotional sometimes, just because it's visible where the other for the other animals it isn't. Because whatever sickness she had, it just sort of made a mess when she died, and we had to like bleach a little bit of the floor. And I see that because it's right in the walkway, because she went through the cat door and that's where she died. So I see that whether I walk down the stairs to leave or I come up inside. So it's kind of emotional to see that. Like, I know where the other 2 animals were, but you don't see a reminder of it. I didn't see the other 2 animals when they were there either. Like, I knew where they were, but Sapphire's spot there's nothing that was there, and Belle was in the kitchen, and I seen her there, but she was still living when I seen her in the spot. So for me to see that, it was a little bit emotional, but I feel like when I see it, I'm okay. Because I understand that it was a year ago, and I think I've moved past it a little bit. I didn't want to get super emotional in this video, but I think reliving it for like the first time that I really expressing my thought about it after a year is, I don't know, a little bit more emotional than I thought it would be. But seeing that spot every day is, or almost every day is, it's a little bit difficult. But it's been a year, and I understand. And one of the things that made it really hard too was coming home that day. And part of me expected it, because she was not doing well for like the whole week. So part of me expected, alright, I might come home any of these days, because it was Monday that I remember she had some weird thing that she like twitched really weird in the kitchen. And it was like really weird, and then my dad came and told me about it. And that was difficult as well. I believe I was actually in my studio here. I think I was probably playing GTA with Casey. And he came in and told me, and it was difficult. And I came and gave her a hug and whatever, and it was okay. And she was fine for a couple days. And then Thursday, that day, she was really struggling. But she did a good job of like hiding that she was sick and playing off and just living fine up until that last week. But she didn't really feel good that Thursday, and she was just laying in the bathroom floor up here. So we went and watched a couple YouTube videos on my phone, because that's what she always liked watching, the videos. And again, the comparisons to Jewel that Fiesta was us to live with is one of those things that Fiesta likes watching YouTube videos with me as well. And she likes being there when I edit the videos, which Jewel used to like as well. Back when I used to like do some video work, it wasn't the same obviously, because now I do edit, which I started in February. Or March or whatever I started, I don't really care. But that was something. So we watched a couple YouTube videos together. And I think the last one was a Pokemon Sun and Moon video about how you get Ash Greninja in a demo. I remember that. How you get Ash Greninja from the demo of Pokemon Sun and Moon. And we watched that video talking about Ash Greninja, and that was the last video that we watched together. I told her that day we would watch videos that weekend, which obviously we never got to do. And coming home that day, I kind of knew that I might come home to that just because of the things that had happened that day. The day before, right? And I came home, and it was a little bit dark, and for some reason I went inside and started calling her name, and I seen her there. And I didn't really know what to do. So we have other ways upstairs, so I walked through the pool room and up, and I just came and sat in my studio. I don't even think that I changed my clothes I was wearing for school. I went and sat outside for a while as well, till Mom got home. I told her what happened. And it was difficult that day as well, because my brother's birthday is the 8th, so we had to go to his house that Friday, which is the 7th, the day before, right? So that's when his birthday is, on the 8th, so we were like, oh, we're gonna do something for his birthday that day. So it's difficult to go there and just sort of like put that off and not like get super emotional the whole time, but yeah. So that was difficult, but I think that I have, and I feel like I've gotten to a point where I am okay and accepting that obviously that happens to everything that lives. And I get it, but it was just super difficult because I never really lost a pet that was that important to me. Yes, I lost pets before, but Jewel was just so special on another level that I didn't really know what to do. But like I said, I feel better now. I think the only thing that got me really emotional was just going back and reliving that day in my mind a year later. Really just got more emotional than I thought it would. I just thought, oh, I'm just going to explain the story, it'll be fine. Because when I ran it through in my mind, what I was going to say in this video, it was a lot easier to run it through my mind than actually speaking the words of what I wanted to say. But